Some nights in sports just hit differently, and what unfolded in Indiana was one of them. This was not a routine win, not a lucky shooting streak, and definitely not just another line in the standings. Just hours after Caitlin Clark was revealed as the cover athlete for the newest edition of NBA 2K, she stepped onto the court and helped lead her team to a staggering 123-88 victory over the Connecticut Sun. By the time the final buzzer sounded, it felt like the rest of the league had received a warning they couldn't ignore. But the real story isn't just the final score. It's how the entire evening built from excitement, into pressure, into something almost overwhelming for the opposing side. Even before tip-off, something in the air felt different. This wasn't the usual pre-game atmosphere where fans quietly wonder if the home team can pull off a win. This felt like a genuine occasion, because only hours earlier, it had been officially announced that Caitlin Clark would be the cover athlete for the Deluxe Edition of the newest basketball video game. What made it even more significant was that she became the first WNBA player ever to receive that honor on her own, without sharing the cover with anyone else. That single detail turned the announcement into something historic for the growth of women's basketball on a global stage. For years, people have debated whether women's basketball would ever be placed at the very center of the conversation instead of on the sidelines of it. Then, suddenly, there she was, front and center, the face of the entire release. Moments like that raise the emotional stakes of everything that follows. Every camera feels closer. Every possession feels louder. Every shot carries a little more weight. If you were wearing a Connecticut jersey walking into that building, you understood you weren't just facing Indiana. You were stepping into somebody else's spotlight. Some teams shrink under that kind of pressure. Indiana did the opposite. The opening minutes told you everything you needed to know. If Connecticut had hoped the pre-game headlines might throw Clark off her rhythm, that hope disappeared almost instantly. She came out with a level of aggression that made the game feel like it skipped the slow start entirely. In just the first 4.5 minutes, she had already scored 11 points, connecting on all 4 of her shot attempts, including 3 from beyond the arc. Indiana raced out to an early 17-11 lead, and right there, the tone for the night was set. What made this so unsettling for Connecticut wasn't just the scoring burst. It was the complete absence of hesitation. Clark didn't look burdened by the attention at all. She looked energized by it. That's the rare quality that separates great competitors from everyone else. Instead of feeling weighed down by pressure, they treat it like permission to attack, to take control. You could sense the building realizing, almost in real time, that Clark wasn't satisfied with simply being the center of attention. She wanted to control how the story ended, too. But the part that made things truly dangerous for Connecticut wasn't only Clark scoring. It was the way the rest of Indiana's offense started flowing through her. The pace quickened, the spacing improved, the ball movement sharpened, and the whole team seemed to gain confidence just by watching her play. When one player gets hot, you can tell yourself it might cool down. But when the entire offense starts humming around that player, you understand you might be in for a very long night. Then the avalanche truly began. By the end of the first quarter, Indiana already led 36-26. That alone would be a red flag, but it turned out to be just the opening wave. Clark had 21 points by halftime, and Indiana led 70-46 heading into the break. That 70-point first half was, remarkably, the highest scoring half in the franchise's entire history. 70 points in one half isn't just good basketball. It's one team completely imposing its will, to the point where the game itself starts to feel tilted. That's what makes a blowout so emotionally draining for the losing side. It isn't only about the scoreboard. It's the waiting, for a run that never arrives, for a stop that never comes, for any sign that momentum might swing back. But Indiana never gave Connecticut that comfort. They kept running the floor, kept spacing the court, kept moving the ball with purpose, kept attacking before the defense could settle. Every time Connecticut needed a stabilizing stretch, Indiana had another answer ready. A lot of people misread dominant offensive performances, assuming it's simply about one player catching fire from deep. But the most demoralizing wins are the ones where the damage comes from every direction. A fast break here, a kick-out three there, a backdoor cut, a drive and dish, a finish in the post, a pass that arrives half a second before the defense can rotate. That isn't random. That's complete control. And on this night, Indiana had all of it. As spectacular as Clark was individually, this game will be remembered because Indiana's entire core showed up together. Clark finished with 27 points and 11 assists in just 27 minutes. Kelsey Mitchell added 23 points of her own. Aliyah Boston chipped in 22. This marked the third time this season that Indiana's trio of Clark, Mitchell, and Boston had each scored 20 or more points in the same game, something no other trio in the league had managed even once. That detail changes the entire conversation. It's no longer just about how good one player is, but what you're supposed to do about all of it at once. You can build a scheme around stopping one star. But when one player is bending the defense out of shape, another is punishing you from the perimeter, and a third is dominating the paint, where exactly is the escape route? There simply isn't one. Mitchell gives Indiana a second scorer who capitalizes on any defensive overcommitment. Boston provides interior strength, balance, and efficiency, someone who doesn't just finish plays but stabilizes them. So when Clark speeds the pace up and Mitchell stretches the floor wide, Boston adds weight underneath. That combination becomes exhausting to defend, because it forces opponents to guard every layer of the court at once. Every time Connecticut tried to solve one problem, two new ones appeared. Overplay Clark, and Mitchell makes you pay from outside. Stay glued to the shooters, and Boston eats you alive inside. Collapse toward the basket, and Indiana simply kicks it back out. That's how a team starts to look dangerous well beyond a single game. Not just exciting, genuinely dangerous. The intensity in the building only added more weight to everything happening on the floor. As the score continued to balloon, so did the emotion. Late in the third quarter, Clark and a Connecticut player were both issued offsetting technical fouls following a heated exchange. It was Clark's 7th technical of the season, leaving her one away from an automatic one-game suspension. This wasn't Indiana quietly stacking up points while everyone smiled politely from the sideline. This was a game filled with heat, frustration, and pride, where the scoreboard kept climbing while the emotions on the court kept sharpening right alongside it. When one team is rolling and the other can feel control slipping away, every small exchange starts to carry extra weight. And through all of that intensity, Indiana never lost sight of the bigger picture. They simply kept playing, calmly and efficiently. That kind of composure tells the rest of the league something important, that even when emotions spike and the spotlight feels blinding, this team can still hold on to its identity. Teams capable of doing that in the middle of the regular season tend to become truly frightening once the games start to matter most. The numbers only make the performance look more ruthless. Indiana shot 62% from the field and connected on 11 of 22 attempts from three-point range. Their final total of 123 points set a new franchise scoring record. It was also, remarkably, the third highest scoring game in league history without needing overtime to get there. Numbers like that describe a total collapse in the opponent's ability to disrupt any rhythm at all. Indiana wasn't scraping points together through chaos. They were scoring cleanly, confidently, and repeatedly, like a team that knew precisely where it wanted to attack. Combine those team totals with Clark's individual line, 27 points, 11 assists, 5 made threes, all inside just 27 minutes, and the picture becomes even more striking. She didn't need a full night to make her impact. That's the real difference between a star simply having a good game and a star fully controlling a demolition. One feels dramatic. The other feels inevitable. On this night, Clark felt entirely inevitable. It would be easy to reduce a performance like this to a handful of viral highlight clips, but that would miss what actually happened. What made this night resonate was the emotional arc of the entire evening, the timing, the context, the symbolism of a player being elevated onto a global stage during the day and then backing it up completely once the lights came on at night. Every rising star eventually gets attention. Not every star can carry the weight of it. Fewer still can turn that pressure into pure momentum. Clark did exactly that, and so did her entire team. There's something genuinely unsettling about a team that seems to get stronger the hotter the spotlight becomes. That kind of team doesn't just win individual games, it starts to reshape expectations around it entirely. People stop asking whether they can hang with the league's best and start asking who actually wants to face them in a high-stakes series. That's exactly why one seemingly ordinary night in July can carry so much weight. Sometimes a single performance reveals what a team is becoming long before the standings fully catch up to the story. So what was the real message from this night? It's simple. Indiana isn't just an interesting story anymore. Indiana is a genuine problem for the rest of the league. Not because of one player alone, even though she was brilliant. Not because of one emotionally charged atmosphere, even though the environment was electric. Indiana is a problem because their ceiling seems to rise every time the moment gets bigger. Plenty of teams look strong in calm conditions but shaky the moment real pressure arrives. Indiana looked like the storm itself was giving them another gear entirely. Clark's performance was, understandably, the headline of the night. But the deeper takeaway is that her team looked connected, dangerous, and increasingly comfortable performing under the brightest lights. When you have a guard capable of warping the entire defense, a scorer able to punish any opening left behind, and an interior presence providing balance and toughness underneath, you stop being a feel-good story and start becoming a team the rest of the league circles on the calendar. And if performances like this one continue, with this pace, this confidence, and this edge, the road ahead is going to get very uncomfortable for everybody else. By the time the final buzzer sounded, the scoreboard read 123-88, and that number represented far more than a simple loss. It represented a complete takeover. The home team had set a new franchise scoring record, posted the biggest first-half performance in its history, watched its star finish with 27 points and 11 assists, and saw two more teammates each surpass 20 points of their own. The building itself had traveled from celebration to full eruption, while the visiting team had been swallowed whole by the pace and pressure of the entire evening. That's exactly why this game is going to stick in people's memory. It delivered everything fans could ask for: a milestone moment, a superstar rising to meet it, genuine tension, big-time production, and a final score so lopsided it barely feels real. And maybe that's the most memorable part of all. On the very same day the basketball world got another reminder of just how far Caitlin Clark's reach extends, the opposing team got an equally immediate reminder of something else entirely. Attention is one thing. Answering it, night after night, on the court, is something else completely. And on this particular night, the answer came like a sledgehammer. If this is any indication of what this team can become when emotion, spotlight, and execution all collide at the exact same time, then the rest of the league has every reason to feel nervous heading forward. Thank you so much for watching, and we truly appreciate you spending this time with us.